All right, let's go to Justin in Albuquerque, the 505. What's up, Justin?
Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm good, my brother. What are you doing?
I'm just taking a break from shoeing some horses. So.
That a boy, dude. Shoeing some horses, man. Out there in New Mexico. Good for you, brother.
Yeah. So, but my question is, I guess I wrote it down. It says, I'm struggling with my sexual relationship with my wife. I obviously want to have a good one, but I have internal struggles, and I feel a Pavlovian response of shame when it does come to sex. Even practicing desire feels a little bit shameful for me.
Okay.
But then I feel very lonely and robbed of connection because of that. And so I'm just kind of at a loss of what to do.
For sure, man. Dude, have you ever said that out loud before?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Well, thanks for making me one of many that you've said that out loud to. So when you say shame, well, let me back up. You said, obviously, I want this. That sounds like something that somebody told you you're supposed to want. So I would take obviously off the table. Is it something that you want?
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I just feel very robbed, and I was of connection. And when I got married, I was 21, and that's just been not what I expected. And I've been trying to make the best of it. I just don't know what else to do.
There you go. So tell me what shame means. What does that feel like? Where does that come from?
I think. Well, I know for a fact that it comes from. Well, my parents got divorced when I was really young, and and they were both emotionally absent, even though they were kind of there. They were just absent altogether. And so the place that I found connection at a really young age was pornography.
Okay.
And so I been struggling, obviously with that for most of my life. And so when I did get married, and I expected that connection to be filled, I turned into my wife's trash can of all her complaints and struggles and stuff like that. So then I felt I wasn't being heard, or I was just kind of a trash can as well. And so I've continued to use that pornography as that way of feeling connection, so I can get through to the next day.
Okay. Does your wife know?
Does my wife know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've been talking and trying to work through it since before we got married. So.
How long have you been married?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. Does she know you're still using pornography to get through the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not every day, but it just, when life gets tough now, it seems like it's, So.
Okay. There's several places we can go with it. I may be way out to lunch here. So sometimes somebody experiences sexual abuse. Somebody experiences pornography at a really young age, and sex gets lumped in with "I'm dirty," right? And or kids who masturbate a lot, right? I'm dirty. I'm gross. And that gets translated to when I get married or when I get into a sexual relationship with somebody I trust and that I'm with for the long haul, that will all go away. And it stuns people when they roll over and their bodies, they go right back into the I'm gross and shameful, right? Or they try to cover themselves up, right? It becomes a part of them, right?
Yeah.
That's about sex, but it's also not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So trying to deal with just the sex part of that it's not ever going to get to why doesn't Justin like himself? Mm-hmm. And also, why can't Justin let his needs be heard by his wife? And why can't she let her needs be heard by her husband? And why can't we stumble and fumble and practice meeting each other's needs in ways that we've never had to do ever before?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
That's a different conversation than I feel gross after being with my wife or I feel unfulfilled. Yeah. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing in becoming a new person, right? Coming up with a new identity. This is who I'm gonna be. Is stopping the behaviors that like do no harm, right? I don't know what to do next, but I know to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And tell me what you feel like when you are starved for connection. What does that feel like in your body?
I just feel very lonely and easily irritated, and I just feel very I get super depressed, and I start questioning a lot of things. And
what's that?
Like questioning? I mean, I honestly I question, just because it's happened over and over again. I just question like the purpose of life and stuff. So.
There's more to that. Keep going. You're being honest with me. Don't fade out on me now.
Well, I think that I don't know, I just have a lot of anxiety in my chest right now. But a lot of times, when it does come to this, it goes 0 to 100 in feeling suicidal, and not that I'm going to. I felt so lonely for so long. I just don't know. I just want that connection, and so I just feel very like why am I here if this is what life is going to be like?
There you go. Thank you for saying that out loud.
Yeah.
You've probably had a lot of conversations about pornography, a lot of conversations about sex, a lot of conversations about, hey, all you do is come home and complain to me about your life. When's the last time you sat down and looked another person in the eye and said, I'm super lonely and I don't know what to do?
Me and my wife just had that kind of a conversation on Sunday. And I felt heard, but at the same time, it kind of goes back to just how we've been living.
Right. Here's the deal. Y'all are at a place now where you've exceeded your capacity to do this on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is about your life. This is about your joy and purpose and role. It's about your marriage. It's about your family tree. It's about all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a backyard project that y'all got to dig in with shovels. And all of a sudden you realized we're sitting on top of a huge sinkhole. We need to call professionals in here. Mm-hmm. Because y'all can have deep, meaning conversations. And I'm proud of you for Sunday saying, I'm so lonely. I don't think I want to be here anymore. I'm proud. Like, that's hard to say those words out loud. But you say that out loud, and neither of you have the skills to then go, okay, what do we do next? What does that look like next? You just fall back into what we've been doing because we don't know what to do. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like driving, you hit an ice patch and you start spinning. If you don't already know how to turn into the spin and how to take your foot off the gas without hitting the brake and all, if you don't know how to do that, you just keep your foot on the gas and that thing spins faster and faster till it flies off the bridge, right?
Yeah.
So what you need today is to reach out to a professional in your community. And if you got to drive. If you need to get connected with like my friends at BetterHelp and you do it online. Okay. But you have reached, you are shoeing a horse right now and you just realize there's a massive foot infection. You need to call a veterinarian. That's what just happened. Mm-hmm. Okay. I will tell you, shame is universal across all cultures and it helps us stay aligned with our groups. Okay. And if it gets out from underneath us, that if you do something that violates your core values, right, and your picture of who you should be, your identity, if you do something, you're going to feel shame. And I'm okay with that. It's when it turns into, the shame becomes something that becomes a part of us, right? Or you've heard me talk about the bricks If you do something that violates your core values, you're going to pick up a brick. You're going to hold it. I did this thing. It's when you put that brick in your own backpack and say, this isn't something I did. This is who I am.
Okay.
Right? And you have to get out of the I am language and come up with a new I am. I am a guy who's going to steward his mind and his body. I'm a guy who's going to steward his marriage. Not I'm a guy who's going to quit looking at porn.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a much different proposition to say, I'm a guy who just takes care of his body. And part of that is not just not putting trash in my mind. I'm a guy who stewards relationships so that when I start feeling lonely, I feel it way on the front end. And I tell my wife, hey, I'm feeling disconnected. And we've already met with a counselor. And I know she knows disconnection for me is sexual. It's intimacy, right? I miss being with you. And some people, loneliness means I miss just sitting and talking with you. And sometimes couples have, one of them disconnection is sexual, one of them's disconnection is conversational, one of them's disconnection, I just want you to hold me. Whatever that looks like is fine. It's being able to have that language in your relationship. And she knows it's not her fault, or maybe part of it doesn't matter. Cool. Then tonight we're going to be intimate. Tomorrow we're going to knock off work a little bit earlier. Whatever that looks, you see what I'm saying? We're going to create some language in our house because we're trying to quit Justin from looking at porn. No. Because we're a couple that stewards our marriage. We're a couple that stewards our bodies. I just eat right, not because I'm trying to cut carbs. I eat right because I'm a guy who takes care of his body. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a totally different proposition, right? So I want you to remember this with all of your heart. It's from the great Brene Brown, the shame researcher. Shame eats secrets for breakfast is how she says it. If you have secrets in your marriage and in your home and in your friend relationships, your body, it has a physiological consequence. It will cost your body. Okay?
Okay.
Means when you're feeling disconnected at the very front end and you try to hide it from your wife, and you know once that domino gets hit and it starts going and knocking all the other dominoes down, you know where this ends up. It ends up, you wait for your wife to go to the grocery store, and then you pull out the laptop, and now you're off to the races, and you're already feeling bad as it's happening, but also you can't stop it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The moment you start feeling disconnected on a Tuesday, instead of it waiting till Thursday or Friday, you tell your wife, I'm starting to feel disconnected.
Okay.
That's secrets. Okay. And she is going to learn through professional counseling that y'all two are going to go to together. Y'all are going to learn, you're going to learn how to hear those needs from each other without it setting off your alarms. Now, you mentioned your parents. You come from a house where you're neglected. They had their own lives and you were just a bother. Okay. Recognize in your body that it has identified relationships as something to be avoided because they hurt. You got a little boy inside of you that for his whole life has been asking, what's wrong with me? Why wouldn't they talk to me? There must be something screwed up inside of me. Is that fair? Is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
And now you have a need and you're married. You've got somebody who's committed in front of her friends and God, I'm going to be here to meet your needs and you're going to be there to meet mine. And all of a sudden that relationship alarm starts going off and you withdraw and you go to nameless, anonymous, pseudo intimate sources on the internet because it's safer than entering into a relationship because you did that once when you were a kid and both your parents said, nah, we don't want you.
Yeah.
Right? So here's the deal. It's like you fell off a cliff into a raging river and you almost drown. You still got to get out of that river, dry off, but you're going to have water that night to drink because your body has to have it to live, right? You can't just avoid water forever. You got to have relationships to be able to breathe. Okay? So you got to teach your body that relationships used to not be safe, not be okay. Now they are. See what I'm saying? That's the journey you're on. You're going to retrain your body. Same with dealing with your horses. That previous owner abused you. I'm going to prove to you over time that I'm not. You're teaching that horse that relationships are now safe because they used to not be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're that horse. Okay?
Okay.
And so every time you feel you're bodies start to get annoyed at your wife or feel sharp with her, ask yourself, what is my body trying to protect me from? Not, why won't she? You see what I'm saying? There's a total difference there. Why? Oh, I'm starting to get close. I'm starting to realize I need her right now. And my body's like, oh, no, we're not going to do that again. And this is when you have to learn the skills to go, nope, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going directly into the mouth of this dragon. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something you practice. Will you commit to 30 days of staying off the computer?
Yeah, I will.
Every time you think you want to, or you feel like you need to, I'll even go that far and need to. If you've been doing it a long time, it's absolutely as much as any addiction as heroin is. Will you write it down? Go to Walmart or get on Amazon and order a cheap journal. Write it down. Here's what time it was during the day. Here's what I feel like. Here's what's going on in my head as I am feeling this call to do this. And then I want you to go for a run, go for a walk, call a friend, go do something, go ride a horse, whatever. Okay?
Okay.
Put on the calendar 30 days.
Okay.
Mark it off. Cool?
Yep.
All right. After this, I want you to tell your wife, you and I are going to go see somebody, and I'm going to make the call for us. Would she be into that for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Hey, you're about to change everything.
Okay.
One more thing, Justin. Do you promise that if you think about hurting yourself that you'll call somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
You promise?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I promise that I'll talk to somebody, just because it's not that I want to be gone. I just want to feel loved. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's not that you want to be dead, it's you want the pain to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, dude, you are loved. You're not loved in a way that makes sense to that little 7-year-old boy, because your mom and dad probably told you we love you, and then they disappeared on you.
Yeah.
And so your body's trying to figure out what the crap that even means. And your journey is to figure out, this is what feeling loved feels like. Because you don't know right now, and that's okay. It's a skill you're going to learn.
Yeah.
It's something you're going to practice. And you're going to get some dudes in your life that you love and respect, and iron sharpens iron, you're going to do life with, right? Okay. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy. In fact, I'm going to send you 2 copies of Own Your Past, Change Your Future, my book, okay? And I want you and your wife to read it together and highlight it. This is going to give y'all a conversation. We'll read a chapter a week, right? And we're going to read it, and we're going to talk about what we read and what we highlighted in it. And we're going to start to look at the little GPS pins of trauma in our life that our body's pegged for us. We're going to start looking at those moments when our bodies start to feel a little bit weird. And we're going to call a counselor. We're playing a long game with this one. And dude, I'm real optimistic. 30 days. I expect you to email me back, Justin, and let me know I made 30 days. And then we'll do 30 days again after that. But we're going to do 30 days to start off with. Why? Because you're a guy that takes care of himself. You're the guy that stewards his body. You're a guy that stewards his marriage. And we're going to start there, creating a new Justin moving forward.